Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Good morning. This video may not come out in the morning, but good morning. The sun is glaring. It's gonna start moving, so hopefully it doesn't interfere with the video. But so today I want to talk about our bad habits, and obviously we talk about the porn, we talk about masturbation. Over here we talk about just overall men doing better for themselves, making better decisions, doing the best things with their lives to make us more of the best version of ourselves. You know, bad habits, the masturbation, the porn, I would say overall laziness, not eating the right foods, not exercising, taking the easy way out of things, those are bad habits. Those are bad habits that doesn't help us overall with our success in the future. It's just becoming better people. And we really have to address and be aware of our bad habits because we live in a society where we are always being slapped in the face with sexuality, you know, so we have to be more understanding towards each other with our ejaculation. It's not something to laugh at, and it's not something to judge each other about. Just like, eating foods, eating the wrong foods, just overall being lazy, you know, we have the sexuality all around us. Even when we go to the gym, we talk about exercising, but you go to the gym and honestly, that really be one of the most sexualized places right now. You get on YouTube now and the little shorts and they add in the TikTok videos with the girls with they dancing and my butt challenge and things like that. We have the Uber Eats, we have Grubhub, we have DoorDash, and we don't. It's easy to break our self discipline and form a bad habit of eating the wrong food because everything is easily at our disposal now. Sex, porn is free, food is like right there and they can be at your door in 5 minutes. As a matter of fact, Door Dashers and Uber Eats and stuff like that, they get 5 stars the faster they could get the food to your door. It's good for them, but it's like, it's kind of, it kind of kills your ability to avoid instant gratification. It kind of kills your ability to withstand. Like sometimes the food, we need to just throw the food in the oven. You remember, back in the days, I'm an older guy, and we used to have to like throw the pot pies in the oven, and you will look on the pot pie back of it. It'll tell you how long it's gonna take. 50 minutes. 50 minutes. 50 minutes to cook this chicken pot pie. I think that's probably why I became so disciplined as a person, waiting on 50-minute pot pies. I know it's kind of funny, but we talk about our bad habits. You know, our bad habits are repeated behaviors that starts to occur subconsciously. They can come out of our everyday routine, and we look for pockets within our routine to find stimulation. Stimulation out of boredom. When I was younger, I would say when I was about 13 years old, I thought I was smart. I'll do my work, I'll turn my assignment in class, and I'll give it to the teacher. And then I would sit in class bored because I didn't have anything to do, and I would pick at my hair. I'll pick at my hair right here. And after months of just constantly picking at my hair, I had like this big bald spot in my head. And I had to take my picture, our picture in ninth grade or whatever, as we went into like high school. I took a picture with like a bald spot in my head. You know what I'm saying? And that's how our habits can overall hurt us. It's like how a junkie, he shoots up his veins because he's looking for that stimulation. And what happens is that the veins, they stop circulating blood and he have to go find another vein. When we have bad habits, we're chasing stimulation. We like to toe the line of pain in order to feel that stimulation because it makes us feel alive. At our animalistic core selves, we always want to get the quickest benefit that we can, and we take it for granted because most of the time our consequences for our bad habits, they come over time. So it seems as if nothing's gonna happen, so we constantly do it. Like I lost my hair for a while. A junkie over time, he gets addicted because he's chasing that stimulation and he's trying to toe that line of pleasure to feel that pain, or toe that line of pain to feel that pleasure. When we bite our nails as a habit, you know, we are trying to get to as close to that flesh, to that nerve as possible to feel that stimulation, because it helps us feel alive. When we're bored, we reach for the lotion, us retainers, or hopefully, us new retainers, and we're trying to stay on the journey. But you might reach that lotion. Even if you're having sex, you might call that chick over or whatever. But after postnut clarity, you don't even want to be with the chick, but you chase that pleasure because out of boredom and out of addiction, you want to constantly feel something that's making you feel alive. So we mindlessly do things in our daily habits out of our particular routines. When I used to, when I worked a 9-to-5 job, I would buy so much fast food, and I was spending like almost $20 to $30 a day. And then by the end of the week, I'm looking like, where all my money going, and we always think we need a second job, and sometimes all you got to do is like pull back on your habits of buying fast food. It's $10 here, $20 here, and you done spent like almost $150 a week based off just buying fast food when you already have food in your refrigerator. And all you got to do is change your routine up, and you can start saving money. When women chase bad boys, they want to feel alive because the good guy, he's boring, he doesn't give us stimulation. It feels good to be in our emotions. It feels good to say what we want to say. It feels good to, sometimes you just want to punch people. But you can't do those things because you have to pay the consequences. We love to go to amusement parks, and everybody loves getting on roller coasters because being flew up in the air in 100 feet, going around in circles and around, up and down and things like that, it makes you feel alive. It's crazy, but it makes you feel alive. When we don't discipline ourselves, we are like water, and we thin ourselves out to the point where we have to put ourselves back together again because how habits hunt us. Even with our parents and our guardians, even when we weren't aware or responsible as kids, they could have raised us with bad habits. And unfortunately, as an adult, even though your parents or somebody can put this burden on you because they weren't responsible with you, it gets to a certain point in your life where you have to accept, your disadvantage and do something about it, because you become a responsible adult, and you can't turn around and get mad at your parents anymore. When we choose bad relationships, when we chase people out of, lust, out of the instant gratification of just having sex, you find yourself with someone that you're not really attracted to. And not only that, having the bad relationships, having the wrong type of partner, they can enable your bad habits, or they can create more bad habits within you. Emotional arguments, yelling, fighting, and things like that. You can find in those bad relationships, it can bring the worst out of you. And over time, when you stay in those type of relationships, it overall affects your relationship, and you go around being more of a toxic individual that you find yourself being ostracized. Because to get in a good relationship, you have to work on yourself in order to even get base to base with someone that's secure. Because most of the time when you take that negative behavior towards people, they're going to push you away. That's how bad habits hunt us in relationships. So we have to address our habits in order to become better people, in order to get to the next step in life and move the next step up in life. When we don't care about our health, we eat too much sugar, or we smoke too much. While we are doing it, when we're constantly eating those honey buns, when we're constantly smoking and drinking, you're not gonna feel it over time. But where you're gonna feel it over time, you're not gonna feel it right now, but over time, you're going to start cutting off years of your life. You're going to start gaining weight. If you're trying to hit the gym or whatever, your muscles won't develop as they should. You won't get that definition in your body. You just slowly start to kill yourself when you allow those bad habits. Us as content creators, we can't just cut on the camera and be like, look, just stop doing it. Because it takes more time. We have to be more understanding and less judgmental toward each other, because our society multiplies our overall animalistic nature to do much worse. Because like I said, sexuality, like you already have a high sex drive. The last thing you need is girls walking past you showing all their curves. So number one, we have to address our habits and understand where it's taking us. And most of the time it's taking us down a downward spiral, where we can find ourselves being unsuccessful, possibly messing up our health, possibly finding ourselves alone in our life. So number one, I would say we have to optimize our environments so that we don't constantly fall back on the porn, or fall back on the lotion, or when you get bored, or when you see that chick with the big butt, you don't just run over there and try to have sex or have a relationship with her. When things go wrong within your group or within your relationship, you don't just find someone to blame, because sometimes you have to get by yourself so that you don't just blame people. They say when things are not adding up, you start subtracting. You start taking things out of your life so that you don't have nothing that's so accessible that you can just reach to it and make it easier for yourself. I used to eat a lot of sweets and eat a lot of chips. I changed where I put my bag of chips. I started putting it in the pantry so that the chips wasn't right there. When I walk around the house, I don't just grab some cakes, and I don't grab a bag of chips. I put it in the pantry, and I forget that I had the chips. And then maybe later on that night, I might open the pantry and realize that I had some chips. The same thing with money, or you just take the chips away as well. You're just doing it for no reason. Sometimes you jerk off for no reason. You spend money, and you find yourself got all this food in front of you, and you're not even going to eat it, but you still wasted your money like that. You have to manipulate your environment so that you don't grab those things. You start to meal plan. You start to take your gym bag with you when you get off work, so you don't just go home and you spend that idle time watching TV shows and not doing nothing. You go ahead and you already have your meal set. You already have your gym bag, so you just go straight to work. After so long of changing your environment, you start to rewrite your brain. You start to rewrite those neurological pathways up in your mind, so that you change yourself into a whole nother person. When you think about where you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you have to do the work and make the plans to break that bad habit and to actually see those results and to see those goals. There's an art in persevering. I could just say stop doing it and things like that, And when we talk about semen retention, some people they say they do 90 days, they do 120 days, they do a year, 2 year. You know, you should celebrate your one day that you didn't ejaculate. You know, some of us built the habit of just masturbating every day. So, you know, you should award yourself for going 2 days, you know, and you may relapse. You know, but you have to get back on that horse. You have to ride it again, because semen retention and, you know, life in general, the door is always open for you to try again, just like the door is always open for you to grab some sweets every day, eat a honey bun every day. It's an unlimited supply of our bad habits and our good habits, you know. So, you know, once you find yourself, you make it into 5 days, you know, and you may relapse, you know, then you keep going and you go longer and longer. And what's happening when you keep going longer of not eating sweets, not ejaculating, you find your health starting to recycle back to a much better version of yourself, and you start to get your energy back. You start to feel better. You start to move better. You know what I'm saying? You start to have a better attitude, you know, and yeah, you relapsed in 5 days or whatever. You know, so you get back on that horse and you ride it again, and you go for 10 days, and you know, and your overall self-discipline and your muscles of your character start to get stronger, and you can find yourself actually going 30 days. But don't beat yourself up if you're not keeping up with the guys that's doing 90 days, that's doing a year. You know, because you're still getting better just taking your little steps as a person, and don't beat yourself up over that. So that's my video today. Tried to get everything out today. You know, keep retaining, figure out what's going wrong with you or your bad habits, and work on yourself. Hit me up in the comment section, like the video, hit the subscribe button, and tell me what you think. Peace.